Katie here from the Scrappy Sisters, and I am up with another 12 by 12 layout, and this is using a cut file from Confessions of a Paper Addict. So everything, as always, will be linked down below in the description box, both to the cut file that I used, but also to the shop in general. And I'm actually using this as a challenge, this layout, which by the time this video goes up, the challenges will be well and truly finished. But it was for a challenge in the Cocoa Vanilla Studios International Scrapbooking Weekend event, which was obviously at the start of May, and this video will be going up at some point, probably in June, but you never know, it might even be in July. And so it's a grab 5 challenge, and so the 5 things that I had to use, now this is going to test my memory, but I needed to use a die cut title, a flare, fussy cutting, chipboard, and enamel dots. I'm pretty sure I had to use those 5 things. So it was a challenge, I will be honest, because I'd kind of decided that I wanted to use this collection. So this is a mix of You Rock and Boys Rule, I'm pretty sure. No, not Boys Rule. Oh, let me just look it up. I've got the Cocoa Vanilla website already open. It was definitely You Rock. Maybe it is Boys Rule. No, it's Totally Rad. Totally Rad and You Rock. So it's a mix of those 2 collections. I've got Boys Rule that's still separate currently in my stash, but I will mix that in now because I don't have much ephemera left for Boys Rule, but I have a fair amount of paper, and it's kind of vice versa. I've got a fair amount of ephemera left for Totally Rad and You Rock, and not much paper at all. So there you go. But I am using those 2 collections, You Rock and Totally Rad from Cocoa Vanilla Studio, to create this layout, and just kind of had to make do with what I had. And so it was a little bit difficult. The most difficult part was the fussy cutting. So I had to pull out one piece, which was the flare. I had to pull that from the new Cocoa Vanilla Studio collection, the new boy collection, Legendary, because I didn't have any flare that went with either Boys Rule, You Rock, or Totally Rad. So I just pulled one from Legendary. That's okay, because I had one from Legendary. I don't have flare at all, except for a few in Cocoa Vanilla Studio. I don't buy all of the flares the Cocoa Vanilla Studio produce because I actually don't like flare. I find them very hard to use, but that's okay. I have a few of them, so I will use them. Yeah, and then the other difficult thing was fussy cutting. And I will show you how I do the fussy cutting, but it is a bit of a cheat. But that's okay. I still get it on there. And that's the main thing, right? To meet the challenge. So the 2 photos are very cute. They're of my partner and my son. They were actually at our band rehearsal venue, and we were doing a cleanup, and I had just brought Link down for a visit. So Danny was there the whole day with a whole heap of others in our band doing a bit of a working bee and cleaning up, and I just brought Link down to say hello and, you know, to hang out with our friends. But we didn't stay for too long. You know, he's not very helpful when it comes to cleaning, so we didn't stay for too long. But I got some very cute photos of him following Danny around with the vacuum cleaner. So yes, they were very adorable. And so they are the photos that I am scrapping, and I am just creating some clusters around my cut file. So yeah, I really like this cut file. I didn't back all of the bricks in the cut file. As you can see, I left some blank, and I've used some wood grain paper as my background. Actually, that paper isn't Cocoa Vanilla Studio. I'm pretty sure that paper is from Snap. Is that what they're called? Snap? I bought it from scrapbook.com. I bought a whole collection of wood grain paper because I knew that I would always use it. Yeah, I think it's Snap. Is that Simple Stories? Are they the same brand? Anyway, if anyone really wants to know, let me know in the comments, and I will let you know the exact papers that I got, because it has, I think, 10 or 12 different wood grains in it. The other side has a different neutral pattern, but one side is all wood grain, so that's what I bought it for, and I've used quite a few of them already, so they were a good purchase. So I'm building up my clusters, as you can see, using a lot of arrows in these. And because I've got, for some reason there was a lot of arrows, and I must have 2 ephemera packs from probably from You Rock. I must have 2 of them. And so I've got quite a lot of arrows. Now, these little lightning bolts are what I fussy cut. So I fussy cut 3 lightning bolts out of one of the cut aparts in the papers that I had left, which were from the You Rock collection. So yeah, it's not cheating because I did fussy cut them, but honestly, those 3 tiny little lightning bolts were what I fussy cut. It's very funny. Now, these die cuts were in the Totally Rad collection, I'm pretty sure. I think they were only in Totally Rad. And so I just decided to add them both, Totally Rad and Super Awesome. Sorry, all 4 of the words. But so I'm making up my title, and it will end up being my Totally Rad and Super Awesome Boys. That's what I end up going with. Now, I don't know if you noticed, but I have already stuck down my ephemera. And so I'm just going in and trying to work out which flare I want to use. I did really want to use this heart, but the white was just a little bit too much for me. So I come back in with a darker flare to add in, and I get that into that cluster above my photos. I don't remember what the flare says. I'll have to wait till it comes on screen and see if I can read it. Oh, yeah, boy. Is that what it says? Yeah, boy. But it was the darker effect that I was going for with that flare. So add that in. Now I'm going to pop up my title on some foam. So I've done that, and I stick that down, and then I'm coming in with these teeny tiny thickers. So these were one of the ones in the Paige Evans collections. They're the white foam on one side and the navy foam on the other. And I'm going with the white foam and just adding in the word my at the top. So it will end up, as I said, saying my Totally Rad and Super Awesome Boys down the bottom. And that will end up being my title. And then I'm almost done. So I'm pretty sure I add some splatter. Oh, I might not even add splatter. And actually, that will only be because I'm filming on my kitchen table and I didn't have any downstairs. Oh, dear. So I do add my enamel dots because that was one of my items. And just in case you're wondering, if you thought, did you include chipboard? I did. I think it says Boys Rule up in the top left cluster. That's a chipboard piece, and there are a couple of chipboard arrows as well down the bottom. And I'm pretty sure, is the Boy Oh Boy piece in the left hand side of my photos? I think that's chipboard as well. So I definitely got chipboard on there. I definitely got all of my Grab 5 items, but it was the fussy cutting that was a little bit of a stretch. But anyway, they are my enamel dots, or enamel shapes technically, but it still counts. And we are done. So I don't add splatters, but that is only because they weren't downstairs. Otherwise, I would have totally added navy splatters. But we are finished. I hope you like this layout. Everything will be linked down below with the cut file that I used. And I look forward to seeing you guys in our next video. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.